Hey guys, welcome back to my channel Sociology with Mahima. In this video, we will cover the topic Observation in Social Science, which is a part of Unit 1 of IGNOU MSO-2 Research Methodologies and Methods. So let's get started. Okay, let's talk about observation. Observation in social science means carefully watching and studying people behavior, actions, and social situations as they happen in real life. It is one of the oldest and most direct methods of data collection used by sociologists and anthropologists. Through observation, researchers collect information by seeing and listening to people in their natural surroundings instead of depending only on what they say. It simply means carefully watching and studying people's action, behavior, and situations as they naturally occur, without interfering. But remember, it is not just a casual look. It is a planned and systematic process used to collect accurate information. Observation helps researchers understand how people behave, interact, and live within their natural environment. It also provides insights into non-verbal behaviors like gestures, expressions, and attitudes that interviews and questionnaires may miss. These small details often reveal what people truly feel or think but may not express openly. That's why the observation method is especially useful when studying small groups, families, communities, workplaces, or cultural events where social interaction can be seen directly. Now, observation can be of different types depending on the role of the researcher and how the study is conducted. Like participant observation, where the researcher becomes part of the group being studied and takes part in its activities. While in non-participant observation, the researcher only watches from a distance. Besides this, observation can also be controlled, which means done under planned or experimental conditions, or observation can be uncontrolled, meaning done under natural social settings. Depending on whether people know they are being studied, observation can be overt, that is open, means people know they are being observed, or covert, that is secret, means people are not aware that they are being studied. Before starting the observation, researchers go through some important steps. First, they define the purpose of their study, what exactly they want to find out. Next, they choose the setting or group to observe, decide their role, participant or non-participant, and then move on to the recording observations carefully. Finally, they analyze and interpret the data to draw conclusions. Observation as a method has several advantages. It gives first-hand and real-time data showing how people actually behave rather than how they say they behave. It also helps in understanding the deeper aspects of social life, emotions, culture, habits, and groups dynamics, which cannot be captured through questionnaires. But there are also limitations. Observation can take a lot of time and effort, and since the researcher is human, observation bias can occur. Sometimes people may change their behavior when they realize they are being observed, which affects the accuracy of data. Moreover, observation usually covers small groups, so the results cannot always be generalized. Even with these challenges, observation is still one of the most powerful tools in social science. It allows researchers to see life as it really is, full of emotions, relationships, and meanings. Great sociologists and anthropologists like Malinowski and William Ford White have used this method to study communities deeply and reveal how societies function in reality. So, in conclusion, observation helps us to go beyond words. It lets us see society as it truly exists. It's a window into human behavior, culture, and interaction, making it one of the most valuable and insightful research methods in the social sciences. Now, let's talk about the difference between participant and non-participant observation. Participant observation and non-participant observation are two major types of observation used in social science research. In participant observation, the researcher actively takes part in the activities of the group being studied. The observer becomes a member of the community or group and experiences events from within. This helps in getting a deep understanding of people's behavior, emotions, and meanings of their actions. However, there is a risk that the researcher may lose objectivity because of close involvement. For example, an anthropologist living in a tribal village to study their customs is using participant observation. In non-participant observation, the researcher does not participate in the group's activities, but only watches and records behavior from a distance. Here, the observer remains an outsider and does not influence the situation. This helps in maintaining objectivity and neutrality, but the understanding may be more superficial since the observer does not share the group's experiences. For example, a researcher observing classroom behavior without taking part in teaching is doing non-participant observation. That's all for today's video. Here are some questions which have come into the exams in previous year regarding this topic. Practice them. Thank you for joining the class. See you in the next video.